It was reported today that Michael J. Burry, he took a 1.6 billion short against S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100. Okay, now he didn't do it right away. I mean, he didn't do it like today. He actually did it at end of June. So it's been almost a couple of months. Okay, so obviously Michael Burry, he's known for his short against the housing bubble, and actually made him a lot of money, right? Obviously, that was back in 2008, I believe, right? And of course, there's a movie made about him, and he's gained a lot of popularity, right? But since then till now, he's made a lot of bad calls, okay? Sometimes on crypto too. Sometimes they're so bad that he would actually just remove his tweets and shut down his account altogether. Like, there's times where he deactivated his Twitter account because he was so wrong on something and he didn't want to hear everyone get on him. So, I mean, it's been a while since he had a really good call. But again, this is supposedly 93% of his portfolio. So he's very confident about this move. 93%. Imagine you took 93% of your portfolio and shorted a market with it. Okay? So is he right this time around? Right? There are a few analysts, financial gurus out there that does think that the U.S. economy is going to see worse days. I don't know. I just don't see it. I cover the news. I look at economic data with you guys every single day for such a long time. I've listened to all the FOMC meetings with Powell, right? Been studying and putting it all together, and it does not seem that bad. In fact, I think in 2024, we're actually going to see a really good year. Obviously, the opposite of what Michael Burry thinks. So we will see who is correct. And something else that a lot of you guys are sick of hearing about, and that's SHIB. SHIB, during ETH Toronto, which is already ongoing, right? Whoever the lead developer is going to announce Shibarium, and it is going to go live, right? Even KuCoin is saying that it's sometime between the next 2 days, okay? Expected time 15th, 16th. I don't know if it's tonight, tomorrow, whatever. It's going to launch. So a lot of SHIB guys have been waiting a long time for this to happen. So will we see SHIB and Bone skyrocket afterwards? Will we see 1 million dApps come on board, right? It's too early to tell right now. But there has been millions of SHIB burnt ahead of Shibarium launch. Okay, a ton of SHIB has been burning, right? And you also have a ton of whales that are buying. So a lot of people are very excited about Shibarium. So we will see what happens when it lists. Probably the effect won't be that immediate, okay? Even though it seems like it's going to go to the moon right afterwards. But usually when the new L2 comes out, just like Coinbase's base, it's not like everyone's on top already. It takes time to build. BitGet, right? BitGet already launched something called Bad Idea AI, which is a very anticipated Shibarium token. So, I mean, it seems like full steam ahead. SHIB will get Shibarium, a layer 2, and this will be coming out in the next few days. Okay. Lastly, 2 other things. And then lastly, a random chain, Thorchain, which is a liquidity provider for multiple chains. They started ramping up 65% within the last week or so. Really no reason why. This article doesn't even explain why. Just increase in social activity, whatever that means. But we're starting to see some momentum come back to some of these bigger projects from, you know, the last bull run, right? So overall, I guess that's a win. That's a win. There's a new chain, C chain, that just came out. I didn't hear about them prior. They're backed by Jump Crypto, Flow Traders, and obviously backed by a lot of exchanges because they are live on Binance, Kraken, Huobi. So it's another promising L1 that's focused on social platforms, gaming, and carbon credits. Why do they need to focus on carbon credits? Like, I still don't get this whole thing about carbon credits and how you could offset pollution by buying carbon credits. You cannot. That makes no sense. If you're polluting, you're polluting. Buying carbon credits does not take away the pollution that you have caused, right? Again, I don't get any project that's involved with ESG or carbon credits. It makes no sense to me. Social platforms does make sense. Gaming does make sense. But there's a lot of L1 chains that's already focused on gaming. Same thing. Social platforms, really no one's working on that because people have tried, and basically it's impossible to go against the likes of now TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X. It's really, really hard. So you don't really hear about any decentralized social platforms, but, you know, doesn't mean that they shouldn't try. Anyways, I saw they went up 2,267%. So the insiders obviously made a boatload of money. They are at 340 million in market cap right now. Crypto related. Number one is, if you're in Canada, I guess you should welcome this. Coinbase is launching in Canada today. They're like the only exchange really that's I don't know, happy about this. I think a couple others have been shunned away from Canada, including Binance. But Coinbase says new leadership, new payment rails, new regulatory milestones, and 200 local employees. So if you're in Canada, now you can use Coinbase. I thought Coinbase already existed, but maybe it's, I don't know, they're just doing a revamp or something. I don't know. But you could use now Coinbase in Canada. And then lastly, we know SBF is being sent to jail right now, but supposedly he spent $100 million in user funds and campaign contributions to both Democrats and Republicans to influence cryptocurrency regulation. This is the reason why, okay, he broke the rules of his bail. That's why he was sent to jail finally, right? But $100 million in user funds and campaign contributions. How nice is it to just have, you know, billions and just being able to use it for campaign donations? But in this case, it wasn't his money. So that's the difference. That's why he went to jail, but he's still facing a plethora of other charges, like 14 or something like that in total. There's quite a lot. Binance, you know, also Binance.us also sued by the SEC, right? They are trying to get a protective order going, saying that the SEC have overstepped a little bit too much, asking for way too much information, things that have nothing to do with the case, right? Does not apply. So basically, again, try to say Gary is not doing a good job, right? So I'm looking forward to Gary getting replaced. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I think once he does, it's going to be so much better for crypto companies and exchanges and everything to operate in the U.S.